Okay guys, what's going on? We're here at Riverside Family Fitness again, and today is back day. Back is probably the most complex body part of all the body parts to try and teach, because a lot of it has to do with feel, position, elbow position, hand position, what part of your hand or what part of your arm you're pulling with. A lot of these things are going to come into play. So you're going to find it's a little more complex. You might have to lower your weights that you normally use and try and apply the things that I'm going to give you today. Okay, so let's get to it. So we're going to start with reverse grip pull downs, and these I feel like are the best pull down movement for the front lat. So when you're talking about standing from the front, if you're a competitor facing the judges, you want the inside portion here of your lat to stick out and flare out more. This is the exercise that's going to help you the most, in my opinion. Couple things. You want to make sure your shoulders stay decompressed as you pull. You don't want to shrug your shoulders up. You want to pull from the elbow. So if you're using straps, don't think it's because you're weak. Sometimes when you use straps, it helps you because you can strap up and then pull from here. If you pull with your hands too much, you're going to get a bicep pump. Try and focus on pulling from the elbow and digging that elbow into your ribs, okay? That will help activate your back. As far as seating position, you want this seat pulled up higher. You want to be sitting up higher on the seat because you want to work those lats. You want to really fire those lats. Now, if this seat is too low, it's going to feel a lot easier, but it's also going to be working your rhomboids, your traps, your rear delts, your teres, which, unless that's your main focus, you don't want to be doing. If you want a big back, you want to focus on the lat muscles. So keep this seat up and really dig those elbows down to your ribs. Start off bad, and that happens some days, okay? For some reason, that machine felt extremely heavy today. So instead of just toiling away trying to get a feel for it and it wasn't happening, we're gonna move over to the traditional pull-down machine. We use a little bit lighter weight to try to get a better feel out of it. Now, those sets weren't wasted. Still got 3 or 4 good sets in there, but I want a better feel out of my back. So you guys need to know, if you're training, you start something, you try something, it doesn't feel good, don't just keep going. Move on to something else and try and maximize that feel. You're only here for an hour. So try and get the most out of each hour as you can. If it's not working, we'll move over here, we'll make it work. Some of the same principles are going to apply here. Pull from the elbow, shoulders decompressed, dig that down, okay? You see me leaning back? Leaning back is okay. You don't want to be leaning back too far. So try and find a sweet, happy spot where you can still feel the lat working without having to lean all the way back. Lean back a little bit, get out of the way of the weight. You want to bring it down to your lower chest or sternum, and then back up. One of the things that's most important here, if you see I'm leaning back and I'm pulling the weight, trying to pull the weight to my sternum, not to my upper chest. So a lot of people will pull the weight, they'll pull it as close to their face as possible. Remember, the higher you pull, the more your upper back is gonna work. So by pulling it straight close to your face and up here, you're gonna work more rear delt, more rhomboids, which is fine if that's what you want. But again, if you're trying to work the meat of the back, the lats, try and pull the weight down. Try to pull the weight here, okay, into your sternum, and then you pull it away from your body to get more activation in your lats. So you guys might be wondering what happened. When I was doing the hammer strength rows at the start, I had a lot of pump in my bicep, like more than normal. Even I was pulling with my elbow and I'm trying to focus on my back, a lot of feel in my bicep. I think it's because Friday, a couple days ago, we trained arms. We trained arms pretty hard. I actually think my biceps are still sore from Friday's workout. So that exercise, because you're reverse grip, you get more bicep involvement than you would otherwise. And I think being my biceps so sore, it just didn't feel right. Now over here, this feels great. My back is feeling more full. I can feel the movement better. My arms don't feel like they're as involved. The one thing though, when you pull to your sternum, you're gonna have to go lighter because it's much harder than pulling into your upper chest. Now we move to TBar rows. We're gonna do close grip TBar rows. We're gonna finish this torture on the inside of that back. So your low inner lats are just gonna be fried by the time we're done here, okay? Because we got the close grip pull down, it's gonna hit your lower inner lat. And then we got the same thing here. We're gonna crush that just below your rhomboids, right in the center there. This is gonna help us torch that. So we're gonna do that here. Remember, shoulders decompressed, okay, right? We're not doing this. Shoulders decompressed, pull with the elbow. This is the point of exertion all the time, pull. Like this, right? We're not gonna pull with the bicep. Don't use your hands. Strap up if you have to. If you can't focus properly, strap up and let the straps hold you there while you pull with your elbow. Oh, last thing. You wanna make sure we're 60 degrees bent over, okay? When you're rowing, you don't wanna be standing up. Probably the worst thing I see with this exercise is people wanna do 4 plates, 5 plates, 6 plates. So you see them standing up like this high and they're rowing the weight like this. It's not gonna work. That's gonna work your rhomboids, your traps. You wanna work your lats, you gotta be bent over. 60 degrees, you wanna be here at least, okay? Could be here, could be here. You don't wanna be here, okay? 60 to 90, that's where you wanna live. One of the most important things here, or any row, pull the weight to your body. Do not pull your body to the weight. You know, you see guys doing this? They'll heave the weight a little bit with their lower back, and then they'll catch it. They'll bring their body to the weight. So they're like, do this. That's not a row. Okay, I don't know what the fuck that is. That's not nothing. Take your elbows and dig them as far back into your rib cage as you can. Bring that weight to your stomach, to your chest, your sternum. Then that's a row. Okay, start light. Learn to get the weight to you. Then when you learn that, you don't have to worry about this bouncing to try and catch the weight bullshit. Don't do that. I think any good back routine has two thickness movements in it. But what I mean by thickness is rowing movements. So we did some T-bar rows. We're gonna do some cable rows, and then we'll probably finish with either another row or a series compound. But any good back routine should have at least 2 pull downs and 2 rows. If you're doing all pull downs, your back routine's no good. You need to be thick, especially if you're stepping on stage. If you're a competitor, you need to have a thick back, and that means you're gonna row. If you're just the average person, you probably get away with just doing pull-ups and chins and stuff like that, and you'll have a great back. Now, what we're doing here is another variation of a row. We're using a straight bar because I wanted to go wide grip. So I'm targeting my lats, my teres. I'm targeting a wide grip, trying to work on that width of the back, trying to target some different muscles, getting the teres major, minor, rhomboids, all involved in the exercise as well. So that's the purpose of why we're doing this. From here, we'll move on to one more heavy one. Like the other exercises, you want to make sure I use straps even when I'm not going heavy, because what you want to do is make sure you're pulling like everything else for back. Pull from the elbow, okay? So when I pull, I got my straps straightened up, tightened up so well, I can actually let go of the bar, and my straps will keep me there, and then I'm just pulling with my elbows, okay? Number one. Number two, like everything else, shoulders decompressed. Don't shrug. Shrug, you're gonna get more rhomboid, more trap. So unless you're trying to specifically target those areas, shoulders down, okay? Those two things are always there. One of the biggest mistakes I see done here is people lean way too far back. They stretch all the way forward, and they use the inertia of the movement to get the weight back. So they move all the way back till the bar's like here. Then when the bar's there, all you're doing is moving 3 inches, okay? No big deal. Anybody can do that. Lean forward, get the stretch in the hamstring, and then don't go further past 90 degrees. Some people will stay forward. If you stay forward and pull, that's the hardest way to do it. But if you're gonna come back to 90 degrees and then pull, okay? So you're gonna go, come back to 90, pull. Don't go further back. You're just shortening the range of motion, and you're giving yourselves more inertia to pull the weight with. We're finishing with some dumbbell rows. These are taxing because it's like doing 2 sets in one. You're gonna blast out the right arm or the left arm, whichever one you wanna start with. And then you're out of breath. Now you gotta do the other arm. Now, the reason I'm starting with the right arm, right side of my back is lagging compared to the left side. So I wanna give the right side of my back priority because I want it to grow and catch up. So I do it first while I still have tons of energy. All the other 2 rules we talked about everywhere, they also apply here. Pull with the elbow, shoulders decompressed. Now, there's a lot of different theories about where to pull from. Some people think the further you stretch, the better. Some people think row it backwards into your hip. I got kind of a little, I tried everything for dumbbell rows, okay? My philosophy is not gonna be everybody's philosophy. When I stretch, I don't stretch to the ground for one reason. This is my lat stretched out, okay? This is my scapula stretched out. So I'm putting undue stress on my scapula, number one. Number two, I'm gonna pull first with my torso. So I'm pulling with my torso, so that's already got the weight moving, and then I row with my elbow. So I'm giving myself a little bit of a cheat at the bottom there, because you're not pulling right with your elbow right from the start. You're pulling with your body first, then your elbow. So you're cheating. So when I do it, stretch my arm out as far as it'll go without stretching out my scapula and my rear delt. Just stretch the arm out and then pull the elbow back. I pull the elbow into my lower abdomen. I found that when I pulled into my hip, I wasn't getting as good a contraction. That's gonna vary from person to person. You gotta feel where the best place is for you. Don't row here. People do that because they can go really heavy and their rear delt, their teres is gonna help. Go lower abdomen or lower, okay? And you see me standing off the rack like the way I am. I don't wanna use my legs too much. So when I stand off the rack, I put my feet together like this, and it takes your legs out of it. If I kneel on a bench the way it's traditionally meant to be done, I feel like I have a lot of sway in my hip and a lot of bounce in my knee, and it's helping me get some inertia going with the weight. But when I'm standing over the rack like this, there's nothing helping me. It's just my back. So I put myself in these positions to make sure I can isolate a muscle group with a lot of weight, whereas normally you'd be using your legs, you'd be using your torso, using all these different things to help you lift the weight. So try and make things harder for yourself, not easier. All right, so this is the truth. Some days you come in, you feel like shit. And I don't care if you're a fucking beginner or if you've been at this for 20 years like me. Some days you come in and you feel like shit, and that happened today. Things just don't feel right. But back in the day when I started, if I would come in and I feel like shit, I would kind of give up on a workout because I was like, oh, today sucks. I can't deadlift 6 plates. It's a write-off. It's not the case. You guys saw, came in, first exercise didn't feel right, switched to a different exercise. Lighten up my weights, use more reps, try and get a feel a different way. Some days you come in, it's not gonna be a brutal fucking workout where you just destroy everything and lift every weight in the gym. Some days when you come in, you're gonna be tired from the night before. You might be, your muscle might be sore from the previous workout. Sometimes it's unexplainable. Sometimes you come in and shit just doesn't feel right. And it's important that when those things happen, you reset your frame of mind and you keep going a different way. You find a different way, take some of these exercises and learn to apply them when you're not feeling like the king shit in the gym. That's gonna happen quite often. It's gonna happen quite often, at least 2 or 3 times a month. I come in here and I'm like, I just don't feel it. But it doesn't mean you leave. It doesn't mean you bitch out. It doesn't mean you do half-ass fucking workout. You just gotta apply yourself in a different way. The muscle will still grow. You just have to torture it in a different way than you're used to. And that's what we did today. So take the tips, learn as much as you can, and learn to apply it on those days when you're not ready to go absolutely crazy.